A journey beyond stars. The emergency lights bathed Lawrence Mitchell's repair pod in an eerie crimson glow as he maneuvered through the debris fields surrounding the damaged communications satellite. His experienced hands danced across the holographic controls, each movement precise despite the growing interference that made his instruments behave erratically. "Houston, we've got a situation here," Lawrence reported, keeping his Texas drawl steady despite the mounting concern in his chest. "My readings are all over the place. The electromagnetic field is unlike anything in our records." Static crackled through his headset, making the response from mission control fragment into unintelligible bursts. The sophisticated equipment around him, worth millions and representing humanity's best space technology, began to malfunction spectacularly. A brilliant azure light suddenly erupted before him, its otherworldly radiance drowning out even the harsh emergency lighting. Lawrence's stomach lurched as reality itself seemed to twist, the very fabric of space contorted like a digital image glitching into chaos. The pod's warning system screamed in protest, its urgent alerts mixing with the sound of his own racing heartbeat. "Mayday, Mayday, this is Engineer Lawrence Mitchell. I'm losing control." His fingers flew across the emergency protocols, but nothing responded. "Something's pulling me in, some kind of spatial anomaly." The void before him split open, revealing a planet that shouldn't exist, a world of impossible beauty. Crystalline mountains caught the light of an alien sun, creating rainbow refractions across azure forests that stretched to the horizon. The pod plummeted through a purple-tinged atmosphere, heat shields blazing as they fought against the brutal forces of re-entry. Impact came with a violence that sent Lawrence's world spinning into darkness. Consciousness returned slowly, accompanied by the soft whisper of alien winds and the gentle touch of something cool against his face. Lawrence opened his eyes to find himself lying on a bed of phosphorescent moss, surrounded by the most extraordinary sight he'd ever encountered. Women, breathtakingly beautiful women with skin the color of summer skies and tropical oceans, stood around him, their features both familiar and ethereally exotic. They moved with an impossible grace, their bodies perfectly proportioned in ways that made his engineer's mind struggle to comprehend the mathematics of such beauty. They spoke among themselves in a language that sounded like music given voice, their expressions ranging from curiosity to something that made his pulse quicken. One of them, with cascading silver-white hair and eyes that shifted between amethyst and gold, knelt beside him. She held up a small crystal device that hummed with internal light. "Can you understand my words now, Star-Fallen One?" she asked, her voice carrying a melodic accent that made English sound like poetry. Lawrence pushed himself up slowly, fighting back a wave of dizziness. "Yes, how is this possible?" She smiled, revealing teeth that seemed to shimmer with their own inner light. "Universal Translator, though we call it the Voice Bridge. I am Arona, daughter of the Twilight Clan. You've landed on Moria, though many know it as Azura." Her eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Your arrival is more significant than you could possibly understand." Before Lawrence could question this cryptic statement, another woman approached, carrying herself with unmistakable authority. Her azure skin was decorated with intricate patterns that seemed to shift and move in the strange light. "I am Trya, elder of the Southern Clans," she announced, her voice rich with gravitas. The prophecies spoke true. The Star-Fallen One arrives as darkness gathers. Prophecies. Lawrence's scientific mind rebelled against the mystical implications. "Look, I appreciate the warm welcome, but there's been a mistake. I'm just an engineer who got caught in some kind of spatial anomaly." A harsh laugh cut through the gathering. Indeed, a mistake. A male voice carried the chill of Arctic winds, and the crowd parted to reveal a tall figure whose presence commanded immediate attention. His skin was so pale blue it bordered on white, with eyes like frozen glaciers. He moved with predatory grace, each step calculated and precise. "Nord," Arona whispered, her tone carrying a warning. "Champion of the Frost Valleys and ambitious beyond his abilities." Nord's cold gaze swept over Lawrence dismissively. Surely you don't believe this soft-skinned outsider fulfills the ancient writings. The trial of ascension approaches. Arona explained quickly to Lawrence, the trial determines our next leader. It is a sacred ritual that cannot be ignored. I'm not eligible for anything, Lawrence protested, struggling to his feet. I need to contact Earth and repair my pod. Two women emerged from the crowd, their presence bringing an immediate hush. They wore shimmering robes that seemed woven from starlight, their movements perfectly synchronized. Your vessel is beyond salvation, the first one, Asia, spoke with quiet certainty. Her eyes held an ancient wisdom. The crossing between worlds has reduced it to little more than scrap, and you cannot return through the veil, added Ella, her voice like warm honey, not until the prophecy runs its course. Lawrence felt trapped between rationality and the impossible situation before him. Look, I appreciate all this, but... His words cut off as Trier stepped forward and stumbled. Without thinking, Lawrence moved, catching her with the instincts honed from years of zero-gravity training. They spun together in what looked like a practiced dance move. The gathered crowd gasped. Arona's eyes widened in shock. The first dance, she whispered. You've initiated the trial's opening ritual. Nord's face contorted with rage. This is sacrilege. He knows nothing of our ways. The signs are clear, Asia declared. The Star-Fallen One has accepted the challenge through deed, if not word. Ella moved forward, her robes catching the light of the setting sun. The trial consists of 3 tests: grace, wisdom, and strength. They must be completed before the 3 moons align. Lawrence found himself drawn into a whirlwind of preparation. Arona stayed by his side, explaining their customs as attendants dressed him in ceremonial garments that seemed to shift color with his movements. The grace trial tests your ability to move in harmony with our world, she whispered as they walked toward a crystalline amphitheater. Wisdom challenges your mind and judgment. She hesitated, glancing back at Nord. Strength. Well, Nord has never lost a trial of strength. As night fell, the first trial began. Lawrence discovered that his space training gave him unexpected advantages. The low-gravity movements required for the Grace trial weren't unlike the choreographed maneuvers he'd practiced for spacewalks. To everyone's surprise, especially Nord's, Lawrence completed the intricate dance patterns with natural fluidity. His years of precise movement in zero gravity translated perfectly to the ritual's requirements. The wisdom trial proved more challenging. Ancient riddles and moral dilemmas tested not just his intelligence, but his understanding of their culture. Lawrence relied on his engineering problem-solving skills and surprisingly found parallels between their philosophical questions and humanity's own struggles with technology and progress. When he chose to sacrifice personal gain for communal benefit in the final riddle, many nodded in approval. Nord's solutions had all favored personal power. The strength trial, however, was something else entirely. It took place in an arena carved from living crystal, where the very ground seemed to pulse with energy. Remember, Arona touched his arm before he entered. Strength here isn't measured only in muscle. The trial began with Nord, demonstrating devastating power. His pale blue form moved like a winter storm, shattering crystal pillars with precise strikes. When Lawrence's turn came, he approached differently. Instead of matching Nord's destruction, he demonstrated control and efficiency, using leverage and calculated force to achieve the same results with minimal energy. The deciding moment came when both men faced a seemingly impossible challenge, moving a massive crystal sphere up an inclined plane. Nord attacked it directly, straining against its weight. Lawrence studied it briefly, then located specific points where applied pressure created a rolling momentum. As the sphere reached the top, Lawrence caught Nord's murderous glare. This wasn't over, not by far. The ceremony concluded with Lawrence's unexpected victory as the 3 moons aligned overhead. Trier formally declared him their new leader, much to Nord's barely contained fury. Later that night, Lawrence sat in his chambers, his mind a swirl of confusion and disbelief. The events of the last several hours were beyond comprehension, an impossible planet, an ancient prophecy, and somehow he had become the center of it all. His entire life as an engineer had been rooted in logic and the laws of physics, but here, reality bent to forces that defied everything he understood. The room around him was an architectural marvel. Crystalline walls pulsed gently with an internal glow, the energy within them shifting in time with his heartbeat as if alive. It felt surreal, like a waking dream he couldn't shake. He ran his hand over the smooth surface of the bed, its texture soft and cool under his fingers. The luxury of it all contrasted sharply with the intensity of the trials he had just completed. His thoughts were interrupted by a soft knock at the door. Before he could respond, Asia and Ella entered the room, their presence commanding and graceful. They were both clad in light ceremonial robes, the fabric shimmering in the glow of the room as though woven from stars. The two women radiated beauty and power, their movements fluid and in perfect harmony, like two forces of nature in tandem. "The trial is over," Asia said, her voice a smooth whisper as she stepped closer to Lawrence, her gaze steady and unwavering. "But our traditions have only just begun." Ella followed, a soft smile playing at the corners of her lips as she approached him. There was something playful, even mischievous, in her eyes. "There are other responsibilities of leadership, Star-Fallen One. You must learn to lead us in all ways." The weight of her words settled over him, and Lawrence felt the dawn of a new challenge rising on the horizon. The adventures ahead were unknown, but one thing was certain: his life had changed forever. The fate of an entire tribe rested on his shoulders, and he was determined to prove worthy of their trust and to unlock the secrets of this extraordinary world. As the stars twinkled outside his crystalline window, Lawrence realized that he had stepped into a narrative far greater than himself, a story where human ingenuity and resilience would intertwine with the fate of an alien tribe in ways he had yet to imagine. Trials of heart and mind. As dawn broke over the crystalline landscape of Moria, Lawrence Mitchell stood at the window of his chamber, gazing out at the breathtaking scene unfolding before him. The three moons, still partially visible in the lightening sky, cast a silvery glow over the vibrant colors of the alien world. The azure forests shimmered like waves in an ocean, and the crystalline mountains sparkled with an inner light, giving the impression that the very landscape was alive. The weight of responsibility settled heavily on his shoulders. He had won the trial of grace and wisdom, but the trial of strength still loomed ahead, a challenge that would test not only his physical abilities, but also the essence of his character. Lawrence took a deep breath, trying to steady the swirl of emotions within him. He was not just a mere engineer anymore. He was now the unexpected leader of an alien tribe, chosen by fate in a most unconventional manner. His thoughts were interrupted by a soft knock at the door. Arona entered, her presence radiant as ever. The warm glow of morning light accentuated the intricate patterns on her azure skin, and her silver-white hair framed her face like a halo. "Good morning, Star-Fallen One," she said, her melodic voice bringing a smile to his lips. "The time for the trial of strength approaches. You must prepare yourself, both physically and mentally." Lawrence nodded, feeling a mix of anticipation and anxiety. "I understand, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around all of this. I'm just a human engineer, not a warrior." Arona stepped closer, her expression softening. "You underestimate the power of the mind. The true strength lies not only in muscles but in understanding, strategy, and the will to protect those you care about. The trial will challenge you to find that strength within." "Can you tell me more about this trial?" Lawrence asked, eager for insight. Arona smiled, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "The trial of strength will take place in the Arena of Echoes, a sacred ground where the energy of past champions lingers. It is not merely a contest of physical prowess, but a demonstration of your heart and spirit. You will face Nord, and he will not hold back. He has a reputation as the strongest among our people." Lawrence felt a knot tighten in his stomach at the thought of facing Nord again. the cold and powerful rival who had looked down on him during the earlier trials. What if I fail? Arona placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. Failure is a part of growth. What matters is that you fight with honor and show your commitment to our tribe. They need to see that you are not just a star-fallen outsider, but a leader worthy of their respect. Her words resonated deep within him, igniting a flicker of determination. Then I will do my best, Lawrence declared, a newfound resolve settling over him. As the sun rose higher in the sky, Arona led Lawrence through the vibrant streets of the tribe's settlement. The inhabitants moved gracefully, their laughter and chatter filling the air like a beautiful symphony. Colorful banners fluttered in the breeze, each representing different clans and families within the tribe. Lawrence felt a mix of wonder and nervousness as he realized he was about to step into their world in a way he never imagined. Today is a significant day, Arona explained as they approached the arena of echoes. The entire tribe will gather to witness the trial. It is an opportunity for you to prove yourself and unite our people. The arena was a magnificent structure carved from the very rock of the mountains and adorned with glowing crystals that pulsed with energy. The air thrummed with anticipation as they entered, and Lawrence could feel the weight of countless eyes upon him. The crowd was a sea of vibrant colors and intricate patterns, each individual radiating an energy that felt both foreign and exhilarating. Troya stood at the center, her authoritative presence commanding attention. Welcome, people of Moria. Today, we witness the trial of strength for our newly appointed leader, Lawrence Mitchell. May the spirits of our ancestors guide him in his challenge. Lawrence's heart raced as he took his place in the arena. Nord stood opposite him, his expression a mask of cold determination. The tension between them was palpable, like a storm brewing on the horizon. The crowd fell silent, the only sound being the distant rustling of the azure leaves. Are you ready to face the might of the Frost Valleys? Nord called out, his voice echoing through the arena, sending shivers down Lawrence's spine. Lawrence squared his shoulders, meeting Nord's icy gaze. I'm ready to show you that strength comes in many forms. The trial began with a series of physical challenges designed to test endurance, agility, and strategy. Lawrence found himself navigating obstacles that required both brute strength and clever problem-solving. He sprinted through a course of towering crystal formations, leaped over treacherous chasms, and scaled walls that seemed insurmountable. As he pushed through the challenges, memories of his training in zero gravity floated to the surface, his years of learning to adapt, to overcome, and to think creatively in the face of adversity. He remembered the countless hours spent in simulations, learning to remain calm under pressure, and how those lessons could translate to this alien world. During one particular challenge, Lawrence was tasked with moving a massive crystal block across a series of platforms suspended in midair. Nord attacked the task with sheer force, hurling the block with brute strength. Lawrence, on the other hand, took a moment to analyze the mechanics of the platforms. He noticed the specific angles and leverage points that would allow him to move the block without exhausting himself. With calculated precision, he lifted and rolled the crystal block into place, earning gasps of surprise from the crowd. The challenges intensified, but so did Lawrence's resolve. Each task he completed built a bridge between him and the tribe, showing them that he was not just an outsider, but someone who could contribute to their world. As he faced Nord in the final challenge, Lawrence realized that this trial was more than just a competition. It was a chance to prove that he could stand among them as an equal. The final challenge was the most daunting, a test of raw strength where both competitors had to lift and carry an enormous crystal sphere from one end of the arena to the other. The sphere was heavy and daunting, shimmering with an energy that pulsed in rhythm with the crowd's heartbeat. Lawrence squared his shoulders, focusing on the task at hand. He and Nord approached the sphere, and as they began to lift it, Lawrence felt the strain of its weight press down on him. Nord's sheer power was overwhelming, but Lawrence remembered Arona's words about heart and spirit. With every ounce of determination, he adjusted his grip and focused on the sphere's balance. He realized that while Nord might have the muscle, he had something else, an understanding of mechanics and leverage that could turn the tide. He began to guide the sphere with careful movements, employing techniques he had mastered through years of engineering. The crowd roared with excitement as Lawrence's strategy began to pay off. He used his entire body to maneuver the sphere, moving with a rhythm that felt almost choreographed. With every step, he could feel the energy of the tribe behind him, urging him on. The cheers grew louder, echoing through the arena, lifting his spirits and fueling his resolve. As they neared the finish line, Lawrence and Nord were neck and neck, the sphere teetering precariously between them. It was then that Lawrence saw the determination in Nord's eyes, the desperation to win at any cost. The arena pulsed with energy, and in that moment, Lawrence realized that this was more than just a physical contest, it was a clash of ideologies. With one final surge of strength, Lawrence leaned into the challenge, pushing through the pain and exhaustion. He released a primal yell, a declaration of his commitment not just to the trial, but to the tribe that had welcomed him. The sphere rolled forward, propelled by the force of his will, crossing the finish line just moments before Nord could claim victory. The arena erupted into cheers, the energy electrifying as Lawrence staggered back, breathing heavily but triumphant. He had done it. Against all odds, he had proven his strength and resilience. Trier stepped forward, her expression one of pride. "Lawrence Mitchell," she declared, her voice ringing through the arena, "you have faced the trial of strength and emerged victorious. You have shown not only your physical abilities, but your heart and spirit. You are now one of us, a leader among the Twilight clan." The crowd roared, their chants echoing in his ears. Lawrence felt a wave of emotion wash over him, the realization that he belonged in this strange yet beautiful world. The warmth of acceptance enveloped him, and he knew that this was just the beginning of his journey. As he stepped down from the arena, Lawrence was met by Arona, her eyes shining with admiration. "You did it. You have united our people with your courage." Lawrence smiled, the thrill of victory coursing through his veins. "I couldn't have done it without your support. Thank you for believing in me." "Together, we will face whatever challenges lie ahead," Arona replied, a newfound spark of determination igniting within her. In that moment, Lawrence understood that the journey he had embarked upon was more than just about survival or proving himself. It was about building connections, learning from one another, and discovering the true essence of strength. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the landscape, Lawrence felt a sense of purpose take root within him, a commitment to embrace the adventures yet to come and to forge a path that united humanity and the alien tribes of Moria in a tapestry of shared destiny. Bonds forged in fire, the celebrations following Lawrence's victory in the trial of strength carried into the night, the air thick with a mixture of joy and relief. The people of Moria danced beneath the luminous glow of the 3 moons, their laughter and music weaving an enchanting atmosphere. Lawrence stood among them, still feeling the exhilaration of the trial coursing through his veins, but a lingering sense of responsibility anchored him to the ground. He had earned their respect, but he also understood that the path ahead was fraught with challenges far beyond mere physical contests. Arona approached him, her presence a calming force amid the revelry. "You've done what many thought impossible, Lawrence. The tribe is inspired by your strength and ingenuity," she said, her voice melodic over the joyous sounds surrounding them. "Thank you, Arona," he replied, his gaze sweeping over the gathered crowd. "But I can't help but feel that this is just the beginning. I've only scratched the surface of what this world has to offer." She smiled knowingly. "Indeed, and the trials have only just begun. You have proven yourself in the arena. But the real test lies in uniting our clans against the darkness that threatens us." "Darkness?" Lawrence's curiosity piqued. "What do you mean?" Arona's expression shifted, a shadow crossing her features. "There are forces at work beyond our understanding, ancient rivalries and factions that seek to exploit the current instability among our tribes. Nord, though defeated, is not finished with you." He will seek allies among those who oppose your leadership, trying to undermine your position. Lawrence nodded, the weight of her words settling over him. So, it's not just about winning trials, it's about securing alliances and understanding the political landscape here. Precisely, Arona affirmed. You must show them that you are not just a warrior, but a leader who can foster unity and peace. As the festivities continued around them, Arona led Lawrence to a quieter area at the edge of the gathering. They found a serene spot overlooking a crystalline lake that reflected the stars above like a mirror. The cool breeze carried the sweet scent of alien flowers, calming Lawrence's racing thoughts. Tell me more about the clans, he urged, eager to learn everything he could. What should I know? Arona leaned against a shimmering tree, its bark radiating soft light. We are divided into several clans, each with its own customs and beliefs. The Twilight Clan, of which I am a part, values wisdom and harmony. The Frost Valley Clan, led by Nord, holds strength and dominance in high regard. There are also the Starlight Clan, who are skilled in arts and crafts, and the Dawn Clan, known for their bravery in battle. What about alliances? Are there clans that support you? Lawrence asked, sensing the intricate web of relationships that defined this world. The clans are often at odds with one another, she explained. However, there are those who recognize the need for unity, especially in these troubled times. If you can secure the support of the Starlight and Dawn clans, it could shift the balance of power away from Nord's influence. Lawrence considered this, his mind racing with strategies. I'll need to meet with the leaders of these clans and demonstrate my commitment to their people. They need to see that I'm not just a pawn in a power struggle. Arona's eyes sparkled with approval. Your resolve is admirable. But remember, actions speak louder than words. You must show them that you can bring about real change, not just for one clan, but for all. As they stood by the lake, a plan began to form in Lawrence's mind. He would need to prove his worth not just in strength, but in leadership and vision. He envisioned gatherings, events that showcased his intentions and willingness to understand the needs of each clan. But first, he would have to gain the trust of the other leaders. With a renewed sense of purpose, Lawrence turned to Arona. Will you help me? I can't navigate this alone. Of course, she replied, her smile warm and reassuring. We will work together to bring the clans together, but we must move quickly. Nord will not take kindly to your newfound status and will likely strike first. The following day, Lawrence and Arona set out to visit the leaders of the Starlight and Dawn clans. They traveled through the lush landscapes of Moria, the vibrant flora and fauna providing a stunning backdrop to their mission. The beauty of this world contrasted sharply with the shadows of uncertainty that loomed over them. Their first stop was the Starlight Clan, known for their artisans and weavers who crafted stunning fabrics that shimmered like the night sky. As they approached the settlement, the air was filled with the sound of laughter and the clinking of tools, where clan members worked together in harmony. Stay close to me, Arona advised, sensing Lawrence's nervousness. The Starlight Clan values creativity and community, but they are wary of outsiders. They were greeted by the clan leader, a wise woman named Eluira, whose age was marked by silver strands woven into her long, flowing hair. Her presence was commanding, and her piercing green eyes seemed to see through Lawrence's facade. Welcome, Star-Fallen One, Eluira said, her voice resonating with authority. What brings you to our home? Lawrence stepped forward, determined to make an impression. I come in peace, seeking to unite our clans against the darkness that threatens us all. I wish to learn from you and to show you that together we can forge a brighter future. Eluira regarded him carefully, her expression unreadable. Many have come before you, claiming to have the answers. What makes you different? He took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her scrutiny. I may be an outsider, but I have proven my strength in the trials. More importantly, I am here to listen and understand your needs. I want to learn how I can support your people and work together for the greater good. A murmur rippled through the gathering of Starlight Clan members. Ellora's gaze softened slightly, and she motioned for them to sit. "Very well. If you wish to unite our clans, you must first prove your commitment to the arts that we hold dear. We will give you a task that reflects our values." "What kind of task?" Lawrence asked, intrigued yet anxious. Elira smiled, her eyes glinting with mischief. "You will create a piece of art with us, a tapestry that tells the story of your journey. If you can weave your experiences into our traditions, it will show your willingness to embrace our culture." Lawrence felt a knot of uncertainty in his stomach. "I'm not an artist," he admitted, glancing at Arona, who offered him an encouraging nod. "Art is not just about skill, it is about the heart," Elira said. "You must pour your experiences, your emotions, and your vision into this tapestry. It is a representation of your journey and the path forward." The task seemed daunting, but Lawrence recognized its importance. This wasn't just about the tapestry, it was about connecting with the Starlight clan on a deeper level. "I accept your challenge," he said, determination setting in. Over the next several days, Lawrence worked alongside the artisans of the Starlight clan. They taught him the delicate art of weaving, sharing their techniques and stories as they went. Each thread he placed into the tapestry represented a part of his journey, his unexpected arrival on this alien planet, the trials he had faced, and the lessons he had learned. As he wove, he began to understand the beauty of collaboration and the importance of community. The artisans encouraged him, sharing their own stories, weaving their experiences into the fabric alongside his. With every thread, he felt the bond between them strengthen, the tapestry becoming a symbol of their shared future. The day finally came when the tapestry was complete. Lawrence stepped back to admire their work, a vibrant piece filled with color and emotion, telling the story of unity and resilience. It was not just a representation of his journey, but a testament to the strength of collaboration among different peoples. When he presented the tapestry to Elira and the members of the Starlight clan, a hush fell over the gathering. The intricate patterns and colors reflected the beauty of Moria and the struggles they had all faced, creating a visual narrative that resonated deeply with everyone present. Elira's expression was one of admiration as she examined the tapestry closely. "You have honored our traditions and shown your heart through your work," she declared, her voice filled with warmth. "This is more than just art. It is a bridge between our clans." The crowd erupted into applause, their approval filling the air with a sense of unity. Lawrence felt a wave of relief wash over him. He had taken a significant step towards forging alliances and proving his commitment to the people of Moria. With the Starlight clan's support secured, Lawrence turned his attention to the Dawn clan, known for their bravery in battle. He felt a sense of urgency, knowing that he needed to build a strong coalition to counter Nord's influence. The journey to the Dawn clan was marked by towering cliffs and cascading waterfalls that sparkled in the sunlight. As they approached the settlement, Lawrence steeled himself for what lay ahead. The Dawn clan valued strength and valor above all else, and he knew that winning their favor would require a different approach. Upon their arrival, they were greeted by Kellen, the fierce and formidable leader of the Dawn clan. His presence was commanding, with a physique honed by years of combat training. "Why have you come, outsider?" he demanded, his tone challenging. "I seek your alliance in uniting the tribes against the darkness that threatens us all," Lawrence said, standing tall despite the intensity of Kellen's gaze. "I have earned the respect of the Starlight clan, and I hope to earn yours as well." Kellen's eyes narrowed as he regarded Lawrence. "Respect is earned through strength and combat. If you wish to prove yourself, you must first face our trials of courage." "What do these trials entail?" Lawrence asked, determined to demonstrate his capabilities. "You will participate in a series of tests that showcase your bravery and tactical skills in combat. Only then will you be deemed worthy of our respect," Kellen replied, crossing his arms over his chest. Lawrence felt a rush of adrenaline at the prospect. "I accept the challenge." The trials were brutal and intense, pushing Lawrence to his physical and mental limits. He faced opponents who tested his combat skills and strategies, forcing him to adapt and think quickly under pressure. With each challenge, he called upon the lessons he had learned from his experiences in the trials and from working with the Starlight clan. As he fought, he noticed the watching crowd, members of the Dawn clan, observing him with keen interest. He realized that they were not just looking for strength, they were seeking a leader who could stand beside them in battle, someone who understood the value of camaraderie and trust. In the final trial, Lawrence faced Kellen himself. The arena was alive with energy as the two warriors circled each other, their eyes locked in a fierce battle of wills. Kellen charged first, his movements powerful and precise. Lawrence had to rely on his agility and quick reflexes to evade Kellen's strikes. The fight was intense, each movement filled with purpose. Lawrence felt the weight of the Dawn clan's expectations upon him, pushing him to dig deeper and fight harder. He remembered his promise to unite the clans and protect the people of Moria. In a moment of clarity, Lawrence seized an opportunity. Instead of relying solely on brute strength, he used Kellen's momentum against him, sidestepping and bringing Kellen down with a swift move that demonstrated not just power, but strategy. The crowd gasped in surprise as Kellen hit the ground, momentarily stunned. Lawrence quickly extended his hand, helping Kellen back to his feet. "You are a fierce warrior, and I respect your strength," he said, breathless but sincere. "I want to fight alongside you, not against you." Kellen's expression shifted from surprise to admiration. He nodded, recognizing the spirit of Lawrence's actions. "You have proven yourself, Star-Fallen One. You fought with honor and demonstrated not only strength, but also the wisdom to recognize when to show mercy." The crowd erupted into cheers, their approval echoing through the arena. Lawrence felt a wave of triumph wash over him. He had secured the trust of the Dawn clan. With both the Starlight and Dawn clans now standing beside him, Lawrence felt a surge of hope. He understood that he was no longer just an outsider. He was becoming a leader who could bridge the divides between the clans and work toward a unified future. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over Moria, Lawrence stood with Arona, Elira, and Kellen, looking out over the gathering of tribes. He knew that Nord would not take their unity lightly, and that greater challenges lay ahead. But for the first time since his arrival, he felt a sense of purpose and belonging. Together, they would face whatever darkness came their way, standing united as protectors of their world. And with each passing day, Lawrence's understanding of what it meant to be a leader deepened, as did his commitment to the people of Moria and their shared future. Shadows of betrayal. As the first light of dawn broke over Moria, Lawrence awoke with a sense of renewed purpose. The events of the past few days had transformed him from a mere outsider into a leader who commanded respect among the clans. The alliances he had forged with the Starlight and Dawn clans felt strong, but an unsettling tension lingered in the air. He knew that Nord would not rest easily, and the thought of impending conflict loomed like a dark cloud on the horizon. After a brief breakfast of exotic fruits that tasted unlike anything he had ever known, Lawrence met with Arona in the grand hall of the Twilight clan. The hall was adorned with beautiful tapestries depicting the history and legends of Moria, each thread woven with care to tell a story of resilience and unity. "Today, we will meet with the elders of the clans to discuss the growing threat," Arona said, her expression serious. "We must prepare for the possibility of Nord rallying those who oppose you." "Do you think he'll try to provoke a conflict?" Lawrence asked, concern etching lines across his forehead. "Absolutely," Arona replied, her tone firm. "Nord is a master of manipulation. He will exploit any weakness or fear he can find among the clans. We need to demonstrate our strength and unity, or he will seize the opportunity to undermine us." Lawrence nodded, absorbing her words. He understood that the meeting with the elders was crucial, not just for strategy, but to reinforce the bonds they had formed. They needed to present a united front to counter Nord's influence. As they approached the gathering, the tension in the air was palpable. The elders of each clan sat in a large circle within the sacred grove, a place where important decisions had been made for generations. The soft rustling of leaves and the distant sound of flowing water provided a serene backdrop to the weighty discussions that would soon unfold. "Welcome, Lawrence," Trey said, her voice commanding attention as they entered the grove. "Today, we gather to address the growing threats to our clans and discuss how we can stand united against them." Lawrence stepped forward, his heart pounding in his chest. "Thank you for allowing me to speak. I know the bonds between our clans have been strained, but we face a common enemy in Nord and those who support him. We must come together, not just for our own survival, but for the future of Moria." The elders listened intently as Lawrence laid out his vision for unity. He spoke of shared strengths and resources, the importance of collaboration, and the need to support one another in times of crisis. As he spoke, he saw nods of agreement among the Starlight and Dawn clan members, but some of the other elders remained skeptical. "Your words are admirable, but actions speak louder," Kellen interjected, his tone challenging. "We must prepare for battle. If Nord seeks to undermine your leadership, we cannot simply sit idle and hope for the best." "I agree," Elira chimed in. "We need to show strength in numbers, and a display of unity may deter Nord from making a move. But what does that look like, Lawrence?" Lawrence paused, searching for the right words. "We could organize a demonstration, a gathering of our clans that showcases our strengths and solidarity, a festival that highlights our cultures, our abilities, and our commitment to one another." "And what if Nord uses that opportunity to strike?" another elder asked, skepticism lining their voice. "He will see it as a weakness. We'll make it a fortified celebration," Arona interjected, her eyes sparkling with determination. "We will have guards in place and training exercises to show that while we celebrate our unity, we are also prepared for conflict." The elders murmured among themselves, weighing the proposal. Lawrence felt the tension in the room. It was a delicate balance of hope and fear, and he knew he had to reassure them. "This festival will be more than just a celebration. It will be a statement," Lawrence said, his voice firm. "It will show Nord and anyone who challenges us that we are united and strong. Together, we can stand against any threat." After much discussion, the elders reached a consensus. They would organize a grand festival, an event that would highlight the cultures and strengths of each clan, while ensuring that security was prioritized. It was a risky plan, but one that held promise for fostering unity. As they concluded the meeting, Lawrence felt a surge of hope. He had laid the groundwork for a significant turning point in the struggle for peace among the clans. Yet, as he left the grove, he couldn't shake the feeling of unease. He needed to ensure that they were prepared for any potential sabotage, especially from Nord. In the days that followed, preparations for the festival commenced in earnest. Lawrence worked closely with the elders and representatives from each clan, coordinating efforts to create a vibrant event that showcased their shared heritage. The air buzzed with excitement as artisans crafted intricate decorations, musicians rehearsed their songs, and warriors trained in displays of strength and skill. During one of the training sessions, Lawrence noticed that many of the warriors from the Dawn clan were practicing traditional combat forms. The moves were fluid and powerful, and he felt a sense of admiration for their dedication. Kellen joined him, watching the warriors with a critical eye. "Strength is important, but so is strategy," Lawrence remarked, recalling the lessons he had learned during his time in the arena. "We must not forget that." Kellen nodded, crossing his arms over his chest. "True, but it's easy to lose sight of that when faced with the thrill of battle. You need to be ready to protect those you care about, and sometimes that means being ruthless." Lawrence considered his words carefully. "I understand that, but if we become ruthless, we risk losing our humanity. The goal should be to protect and unite, not to dominate through fear." Kellen regarded him thoughtfully, as if weighing the wisdom in Lawrence's words. "You've got a good heart, Starfallen One. Just remember, not everyone thinks like you. There are those who will use any advantage they can find, and Nord is no exception." As the festival day approached, Lawrence's sense of urgency grew. He knew that while they prepared to celebrate their unity, Nord was likely plotting his next move. He decided to take proactive measures to safeguard the event and reinforce the alliances he had built. One evening, as he sat with Arona and Kellen by a glowing fire, he proposed a plan. "I want to meet with Nord before the festival. I want to show him that we are not afraid, that we stand united, and that any attack will be met with a fierce response." "Meeting with Nord is risky," Arona cautioned. "He may see it as a sign of weakness." "Or he might see it as an opportunity," Kellen added, his expression serious. "But if you believe it will help secure our safety, I will stand by your side." Lawrence felt a surge of confidence at their support. "I need to confront him directly. We need to set the tone for this festival, and that means demonstrating our strength before it even begins." The next day, Lawrence arranged a meeting with Nord at the edge of the Frost Valley clan's territory. As he and Kellen approached the meeting point, Lawrence felt a mixture of apprehension and determination. He was stepping into the lion's den, but he had faith in the alliances he had built. Nord awaited them, his tall figure a stark contrast against the icy landscape. The cold radiated from him, a palpable reminder of the strength he possessed. Well, the Star-Fallen One graces us with his presence," he sneered, his voice dripping with condescension. "Come to beg for mercy." Lawrence stepped forward, refusing to show any sign of fear. "I'm not here to beg, Nord. I'm here to tell you that the clans are uniting, and any attempt to undermine that unity will be met with swift consequences." Nord's expression darkened, and he laughed derisively. "Unity? You think a festival will change anything? You are still an outsider, and you will never be one of us." "Perhaps," Lawrence replied, standing tall, "but I have proven my worth through the trials, and I have earned the respect of the Starlight and Dawn clans. If you attempt to sabotage our festival, you'll find that we are ready to fight back." Nord's eyes narrowed, calculating. "You believe you can challenge me. You may have fooled the others, but I see through your bravado. You are merely a man in a strange land. I am a man who has faced trials and won. I have allies who will fight by my side," Lawrence said firmly. "I will not back down, and I will not let you tear apart what we are building." With a flick of his wrist, Nord signaled to his followers lurking in the shadows, revealing their presence. The tension in the air thickened as Lawrence realized he was surrounded. "You think you can intimidate me?" Lawrence's voice was steady, unwavering. Nord took a step closer, his demeanor shifting. "You don't know the extent of my power, Star-Fallen One. I have supporters among the clans who share my vision of strength through dominance." Lawrence's heart raced, but he refused to show any fear. "Strength is important, but so is unity. You will find that your allies are dwindling, and I will expose your schemes for what they are." As the two men stood facing each other, the fire of their confrontation ignited an unspoken challenge. Lawrence felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders, knowing that the fate of the clans rested on his ability to stand firm against Nord's intimidation tactics. With the festival just days away, Lawrence returned to the Twilight clan, determined to fortify their defenses and prepare for any potential sabotage. He gathered the elders and his allies to discuss the best strategies to ensure the event would go off without a hitch. "Nord may try to disrupt our festival," Lawrence said, his voice steady. "But we must remain vigilant. We can't allow fear to dictate our actions. Instead, let's turn it into an opportunity to showcase our unity and strength." Arona stepped forward, her determination infectious. "We will organize a series of training sessions leading up to the festival. It will serve as a reminder to the clans of our capabilities and our commitment to each other." The elders nodded in agreement, their faces filled with resolve. They understood the importance of demonstrating their unity, not just for the festival, but for the future of Moria. As the days passed, Lawrence immersed himself in the preparations, leading training exercises and rallying the clans together. The atmosphere shifted from one of uncertainty to a renewed sense of hope and camaraderie. Together, they worked tirelessly to ensure that the festival would be a resounding success. Finally, the day of the festival arrived. Vibrant colors decorated the landscape, and the air was alive with the sounds of laughter and music. The clans gathered in the grand arena, a place of celebration and unity that resonated with their shared history. As Lawrence stood at the center of the arena, he took a moment to reflect on how far he had come. He felt the energy of the people surrounding him, their hopes and dreams woven together like the threads of a tapestry. This was not just a festival. It was a declaration of their resilience against the shadows of betrayal that loomed over them. With Arona by his side, Lawrence welcomed the gathering. Today, we celebrate not only our differences but our unity as clans. We have faced challenges, but together we stand stronger. Let this festival be a testament to our commitment to one another and to the future of Moria. The crowd erupted into cheers, their voices blending into a harmonious symphony that filled the air with hope. As the festivities unfolded, Lawrence watched as members from each clan mingled, sharing stories and laughter, creating connections that transcended their differences. But in the depths of the celebration, Lawrence remained vigilant. He couldn't shake the feeling that Nord was still lurking in the shadows, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. He understood that while they were united in celebration, they must also be prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the arena, Lawrence felt a surge of determination. He had come to Moria as an outsider, but now he stood as a leader, one who had forged alliances, faced trials, and inspired hope among the clans. He knew that the true battle was yet to come, and as the festival continued around him, he was ready to confront the darkness that threatened to tear them apart. With courage in his heart and the support of his newfound allies, Lawrence embraced the challenges ahead, determined to protect the unity they had built and the future they all deserved. The gathering storm. As the festivities of the festival unfolded, Lawrence felt an exhilarating mixture of hope and anticipation. The laughter of children danced through the air, mingling with the melodic sounds of music that echoed across the grand arena. Colorful banners hung high, fluttering like vibrant wings, and stalls brimmed with delicious foods and exquisite crafts made by the hands of the Starlight clan. Yet, even amid the joyous atmosphere, a gnawing anxiety tugged at the edges of Lawrence's mind. He remained acutely aware that while they celebrated their unity, Nord and his followers could be plotting their next move. His determination to protect the fragile alliance he had forged was stronger than ever, but uncertainty loomed like dark clouds on the horizon. The festival was not just a celebration, it was a display of strength, a statement to Nord that they would not be intimidated. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm glow over the festivities, Lawrence took a moment to gather his thoughts. He needed to ensure that the clans were not only prepared to enjoy the celebration, but also ready to defend themselves if necessary. "Arona, we need to reinforce our security measures," he said, seeking her counsel as they stepped away from the crowd for a moment of quiet. "We should have patrols in place, especially around the perimeter of the festival grounds. I want to make sure we are prepared for any potential sabotage." Arona nodded, her expression serious. "I agree. We can set up a watch to monitor any suspicious activity, especially from the Frost Valley clan. Nord may try to turn the celebration into chaos if he feels threatened." As they discussed their plans, Lawrence felt the weight of leadership pressing upon him. He had come to Moria seeking adventure and exploration, but now he was standing at the forefront of a pivotal moment for the tribes. The responsibility of their safety rested heavily on his shoulders. "Let's meet with the clan leaders and outline our strategy," Lawrence proposed. "We need everyone to be on board and understand the importance of remaining vigilant." After gathering the leaders from the Starlight and Dawn clans, they convened in a quiet tent set up for strategy discussions. The air buzzed with anticipation and concern as they shared their thoughts on the upcoming celebration and potential threats. "While we celebrate our unity, we cannot afford to let our guard down," Kellen said, his voice steady. "Nord is a cunning adversary, and he will exploit any weaknesses he can find. We need to be ready to respond." Elira chimed in, her voice a calm presence in the room. I suggest we assign specific roles to each clan. Let the Starlight clan focus on the festivities, while the Dawn clan remains vigilant for any signs of trouble. The Twilight clan can facilitate communication between us all. Lawrence listened intently as the plans began to take shape. They would create a coordinated effort to maintain security while allowing the celebration to flourish. Each clan would contribute its strengths, reinforcing the idea that they were united not only in purpose but also in action. With a plan in place, the mood shifted back toward positivity, and the festival resumed in earnest. As twilight descended, lanterns were lit, casting a warm glow over the arena. The vibrant colors of the decorations shimmered against the deepening sky, creating an atmosphere filled with magic and possibility. Lawrence took to the stage, his heart pounding as he prepared to address the gathering. The moment felt monumental, and he could see faces from each clan turn toward him, filled with expectation. "People of Moria," he called out, his voice rising above the joyful sounds of the celebration. "Today, we stand not just as individuals or as separate clans, but as one united front. Together, we celebrate our differences and our shared strengths." The crowd erupted in cheers, their enthusiasm infectious. Lawrence felt a surge of pride and determination. He continued, "Let this festival serve as a testament to our resilience and our commitment to one another. We will protect our future together, standing shoulder to shoulder against any who would threaten our way of life." As the cheers echoed around him, Lawrence locked eyes with Arona and Kellen, who stood nearby. He felt their support and shared determination. They had created something powerful, a bond that transcended their individual histories. After the speech, the festivities continued with music, dancing, and games that showcased the talents of each clan. Laughter filled the air as Lawrence moved through the crowd, engaging with tribe members, sharing stories, and enjoying the moment. He felt a sense of belonging, a connection to these people he had come to care for deeply.